Hello and welcome to Laurice's kitchen. It's a super easy and creamy dinner tonight with tortellini and mushrooms in a brandy cream sauce. This dinner goes together in less than 30 minutes, so let's see what we're going to need. To get this meal started, we're going to need some tortellini. Now I have 5 cheese tortellini. You can use whatever flavor you like. This is fresh rather than dried, and it does have a tendency to float when we cook it, so I'm going to be cooking it in a shallow wide pan rather than a tall saucepan. I've also got a full pound of mushrooms here that I've stemmed and rinsed. I've sliced them at least 1/4 inch thick because otherwise they're just going to cook down and get lost in this sauce. I have 4 to 5 cloves of minced garlic along with 1 very thinly sliced onion. We're going to need some ground nutmeg, salt and pepper, a full ½ cup of brandy, and a whole quart of heavy whipping cream. Let's get over to the stove and start cooking. I've got my pan over here with the water in it and a fair amount of salt. That's heating up and waiting for the tortellini. Here I've got my very large 14-inch nonstick skillet. This is where we're going to make the cream sauce. I've got about 2 tablespoons of canola oil in there. We're going to start with the onions, then add the garlic and the mushrooms, and we're going to sauté those until they become soft and fragrant. After that, we're going to add in our spices, deglaze with the brandy, and then add in our heavy cream. We're going to let that simmer for about 15 minutes until it thickens up. This has been about 2 minutes. These onions are starting to soften, so now we're going to add in the garlic. We wait to add these mushrooms in until just a little bit after these have sautéed. Mushrooms are close to 90% water. If we put them all in together, the mushrooms would lose their water and essentially boil our onions and garlic. That wouldn't taste so good. Okay, this is kind of dry, so I'm going to add another 2 tablespoons of oil. Okay, that's just been a minute or so. Let's get in the salt and pepper and nutmeg. So far, this has probably only been about 6 minutes, so it's really easy to go together. Next up, we add in our brandy. Just do this carefully. Sometimes it can flame up. My brandy's pretty sweet, so it's not going to. We want to let this mostly reduce before we add in the heavy whipping cream. Whatever you do, make sure that you get unsweetened cream. Do not buy the sweetened whipping cream. It's nice to be able to put a meal together in under 30 minutes. I'm going to be eating this with a spoon. Let's give it a taste. So creamy. Those mushrooms still have just the tiniest bit of resistance. Perfect.